Just want to talk a little bit about one of my favourite walks. I get up to this amazing rock at the top of the hill. But this is what I see when I get here. It's about a 25-30 minute walk from home. Not an easy walk. I'll show you some of it on my trip back. But this is the view from my favourite rock. And as you can see, it's pre-sunrise. So I'm just going to head back down a bit. And as I do, I'll try and give you a bit of a better view of my wonderful rock. I've lots of photos of this rock, including some when the sunrise first gets on it. It's amazing. And when you first capture a glimpse of it, it feels so nice. Heading back down a bit, I'll go across to the slope I came up this morning. This walk, getting up to the rock, there's at least 3 or 4 different ways I go, and they all have different degrees of difficulty. So from one that's pretty easy to one which is pretty much straight up. And this morning I took a bit of a compromise. I went with something that's in between. Really hard, straight up or up a bit, a gentle slope and then across. I'm just going to walk back and show you what I could see. And this is another view of the rock. Yes, you see it barely through the trees, but I always feel great when it comes into view. Alright, so heading back down. As you can see from looking at the leaf litter and fallen timber, it's easy walking in that there's not much undergrowth, but you really got to pay attention because it's also pretty slippery. So I take my walks down as seriously, some ways more seriously than walking up. I actually think the risk of slipping out is bigger. It's happened to me once or twice where I've stepped just on leaf litter and there's been some branches underneath and the branches have slipped. But normally I just let one leg slips a bit and I recover. But as you can see, and here, there's a lot of fallen litter and a lot of fallen trees. Which is why anyone who lives near the mountains cares a lot about summer weather. I will definitely talk about my experiences with bushfires at a later date, or wildfires as they call them in America, and how I think about the climate catastrophe that we're facing. Okay, now I'm starting to head down a bit. So just want to try and capture an idea of how steep it gets. This is the steepest part of a slope I walked up this morning. I use this fallen tree as a pointer to one of the good ways down. We get a lot of shrubs here that when there's enough rain just take off and actually can make it impossible to do some of these walks. But at the moment it's been dry and it's still pretty open. Like anybody walking down a steep slope, you end up zigzagging a fair bit. It's not something I always just walk straight down. It's also good for your legs. It gives you a lot more flex in the ankles. Sidestepping is a good action to build the inside muscles in both thighs and calves. One of the other things that's really important about walking downhill is you build the stability that you need to avoid falls. As you get older, the risk of falls increases as you lose your leg strength and your ability to react quickly to slippage. What I'm effectively doing is training those muscles and those reflexes by walking this way. So there are alternatives in the gym, which I would find really, really boring. Stepping up boxes, and then most importantly, not just stepping back down, but stepping forward and down, because that's the motion where people slip. Okay, I just want to show you a bit of the valley. Still very early. No sign of a sun as yet.